we've got the open beach sprint coming up next. And always a feature. Who are we likely to be the contenders here, Steve?
Well, good field here in this final. It's a 9-man final, and we've got there in the picture, that's Ross Bongiletti from Devonport in the green and white cap. In fact, we'll go across from in lane 1. We have Jamie Saltmarsh in the yellow singlet there from Burnie. Ross Bongiletti there in the, looks like the green singlet from Devonport. Next to him, his clubmate Darren Perry from Devonport. Then we have in the, looks like the red singlet, Jeremy Gibson of Burnie. In the blue singlet, John Bell of Clifton Beach. Colin Heffer of Carlton Park. In the green singlet there, we'd have Michael Dennis of Burnie. In the blue singlet, we have Gerard Leary of Penguin. And on the top of the track, without a singlet on in the light blue bathers, Douglas McKinlay of Clifton Beach.
Who would you expect to perform well? Well, they're just about lined up, so who? One-man pick. Who's it going to be?
Oh, soft sand, I'd say Ross Bongiletti in lane 2 from Devonport.
Okay, predictions of Steve Gray. And a great head-on shot. As you can see, the competitors coming up take their mark for the beach sprint. Saltmarsh, Bongiletti, Ferry, Gibson, Bell, Heffer, Dennis, Leary and McKinlay. Left to right across your screen.
Yes, it's going to be a great battle, this 100-metre sprint or 90-metre sprint. Starter's got them down. Bongiletti been a very good competitor. Came over here last year from the mainland, and the starter's got them away, although he hasn't. As the teeth chatter, it's a false start. But going back to some of the performances of these runners, Jamie Saltmarsh is the current state champion. Jamie, of course, still a junior. He'll be battling next week to hold down his spot, but Devonport have been very good in competition this year as far as beach events go, and it wouldn't surprise if they fill possibly the first 2 places with Darren Perry and Ross Bongiletti. Jeremy Gibson from Burnie, another very good young beach sprinter, and Johnny Bell of Clifton Beach in here with a chance as well. Colin Heffer of Carlton Park, unknown quality, but I've heard that he's quite a good beach sprinter as well, so this could be a very good final.
We'll just get this, I think, because the open surf boats are away, or about to get away. There's a good start, and Devonport runner in 2 is Bongiletti, but in 1 it's Saltmarsh of Burnie. Saltmarsh of Burnie's got it from Bongiletti, and in 3rd was Perry of Devonport. So Jamie Saltmarsh of Burnie from Ross Bongiletti of Devonport, and Darren Perry of Devonport in 3rd place. A great win by Saltmarsh of Burnie, as the open surf boats are lining up and just about to get away too, so that should be pretty spectacular action along the other end of the beach. But Saltmarsh led from go to woe.
Yes, a very good start, and he needed that win because Darren Perry won at Penguin 2 weeks ago, and Jamie has fought back well because today, who knows, there is a position in the state team for a beach sprinter, and that could have been the one that might have clinched it for him.
So good seedings. There we have Jamie Saltmarsh from Ross Bongiletti of Devonport and Darren Perry of Devonport as the winners and place getters in the open beach sprint final. Now we have the surf boats on screen, and what a sight they'll be. Pity the swell isn't a little bit bigger, but still enough out there to make it interesting. Which start do you think is the favourite in this particular event?
Well, Olsen have been rowing extremely well throughout the day in the first 3 races today. In fact, the starter has gotten away, and you can see the crews now. They're all in and rowing out through this short, choppy surf. Wade coming in now, and they'll plough through that one. You can see the white water spraying, and no doubt those pumps in the boats will be working overtime to pump the water out. It looks like
through the open beach sprint, Jamie. Congratulations, that was a great performance.
Thanks a lot.
Your event, this is your #1 event on a surf lifesaving carnival?
Yeah, I go on other events, under 18 skiing that, but this is my main event, the sprint, beach sprint.
I was going to say, talking to you, hardly out of breath, but that's not true quite, is it?
No, not really. No, I feel pretty good actually.
The Burnie Club's very successful today, obviously a very competitive outfit.
Yeah, it went pretty well on the Tapman relay with the ski paddlers. Got good ski paddlers and board paddlers. That wasn't too bad.
Oh, good luck with the state championships next week.
Okay then, thanks a lot.
Right, back to the surf boat.
Look at that, they can find themselves landing in the middle of the boat.
Here they are.
The Bernie team, the first Bernie runner, just going down, digging his holes.
Danny Wright there. And you wouldn't see that up the athletics track, but different thing. You want
Different thing beat sprinting. Of course, we've seen some great beat sprinters in Tasmania. Probably one of the most successful, of course, was John Howard back in 1969, who competed very well and also represented Australia.
Not the leader of the opposition, I hope.
No, not that John Howard. He's a little bit younger, but now living on the Gold Coast. But he was a very good competitor in beach sprinting.
The final, the under-18 beach final. Looks though we've picked up another couple of competitors. Looks like a couple of entries from Bernie.
Right, we'll just call these competitors for you now, lining up, and you can see them on the screen. There's Carlton Park in the there. All start next to them in the green and white cap. We have the Devonport team. So this is the looks like it's the open beach relay final, Rod. I think we could be wrong there. I can see some senior members there, so looks like it could be the open beach final. Seems to be a few problems there with the competitors.
Disagreements with the officials and the competitors.
Officials are making a decision here with Noel Viney, the beach referee, and looks like it could be Gary Riddler, the chief starter. So I think they could have a few problems there.
Okay, so we've got Carlton, Devonport, Bernie, Clifton and a second Bernie.
And a second Bernie, that's right. You've called them right there.
Good to get one thing right for the day, Steve.
Well, I think they've sorted themselves out now, Rod.
Yes, few disagreements. They're away. Not a bad start. And at the moment, head-on shot makes it rather difficult for us, but at the moment I'd say Devonport look pretty well placed.
Yes, Devonport are leading at this stage from Carlton Park. They change all well there. Clifton Beach have dropped their baton. And this has left the strong Devonport team in front there. And Devonport running very strongly here. Carlton Park and Bernie battling it out for third spot. Second and third spots. They change well there. Carlton Park making a challenge now. So it's Carlton Park going into the lead now. Carlton Park leading from Devonport. Bernie coming up there running very strongly.
Look at that Bernie runner. Great leg by the Bernie runner, and he's just about got them into the lead. Yes. Bernie in front from Devonport, and over on their left-hand side, Carlton Park.
Oh,
but Bernie,
race.
what a great third leg that was, and Bernie are going to cake it out. Devonport second, Carlton Park third. But that third run by the Bernie lad,
absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That wasn't our friend Mr. Saltmarsh, was it?
No,
who was doing the third leg?
No, Jamie Saltmarsh finished that. It could have been young Jeremy Gibson running that third leg. I couldn't quite pick it up on the screen. I was watching the runners in the binoculars. But a good win there to Bernie. Of course, we'll have to wait for the judges' official announcement on that, because there could have been some breaks and what have you. But certainly a good win there to, well, first across the line anyway to Bernie. And Devonport would have to be content with second spot, because I thought they would have been hot favourites for that, because they've got a number of good runners. It doesn't look like a couple of their runners are down here, McCormick and also Donny Ilmer, so they might have stayed at Devonport. But good win to Bernie.
Big triathlon up at Devonport today, and as I understand it, there's a few who would normally be down here would be involved in that. So there's the official placings. Bernie first, Devonport second, and Carlton Park third. And undoubtedly, whoever that third runner was on the third leg really went from a couple of metre deficit to put Bernie at least equal on the final change. And of course, the winner of the beach sprint in James Saltmarsh came home in the final leg to take it out in pretty convincing fashion.
Yes, a good run there by the Bernie boys, and they'll be looking to hold out Devonport next week.
Well, let's go down and get the thoughts and on how the race was won, and let's go down to Mark Cutler.
Well, Jeremy, a tremendous team performance there by Bernie. It looked as if Carlton Park were going to pinch that, but you got up.
Yeah, last one, James Saltmarsh, he ran really well in the last leg.
Well, it helps having the open beach sprint champion in your team, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, really, yeah.
Yeah. But I also thought that your leg was particularly good too.
Yeah, I tried my hardest getting up there, and because we've got a bit of behind in the lead, so I had to get back up there.
And what about the state championships next week? You'll be fielding the same team?
Yeah, we've got the same team in the state championships, and we think we've got a very good chance in winning.
Well, I'd say on today's form you'd have to have a good chance.
Yeah.
What are you going to do during the week to prepare for it? Anything?
We just got some short sprint training, and that's about it. No, he's doing hard stuff now.
Yeah. What about the running on the sand on your legs?
It's a hard track, this one. It's real soft, and it pounds your legs a bit.
Yeah. All right, well, look, we'll let you get back to what you're doing. Thanks, Jeremy. Sit back and enjoy the afternoon's entertainment. The men bringing you all the excitement and drama from here at Clifton Beach are our commentators Stephen Gray and Rod Kilner.
I endorse those comments of Mark Cutler after yesterday's 33 degrees. I had the zinc cream out, the sunscreen, the white floppy hat to keep all those harmful sun rays away. But I tell you, it's pretty cool up here, Steve.
Yes, Rod, we've copped another unfortunately a bad one. This is our first bad one for the year, and let's hope it's not as bad as it looked this morning, where I was awoken down here at Clifton Beach with the sound of very heavy rain at about 7 o'clock, 7:30. And a very strong onshore breeze blowing, but conditions have moderated slightly. There is patches of blue sky around, and also the wind has just dropped slightly, so plenty of action still coming up in this program.
There's a march past that you can see on screen at the moment. Always a very important and disciplined event, and one of the things again that, along with the open surf boat races and the Ironman, that you associate with the Surf Life Saving Carnival.
Yes, the March Past, a very spectacular event. It's probably the big event at a surf carnival. It attracts the most amount of spectators, and it certainly is very colourful, especially here at Clifton today at the Mitsubishi Surf Classic, with the inclusion of the junior movement. Some of the juniors there, you can see them. In fact, that's the oldest and second March Past team. There's some of the juniors lining up there. They have done their marching and are now standing at ease, waiting for the senior members to finish their round.
As we mentioned, cold conditions today, and how would they affect the surf lifesavers in the events? Does it affect them much or not at all?
Well, most of the surf lifesavers here, I mean, they have to patrol the beach in days like this, so they'll be pretty used to this sort of weather. As I said at the beginning, this is the first bad carnival we've had. The previous four on the northwest coast have been held in extremely warm and flat conditions, and so I guess it is a bit of a shock to most of these competitors, but as far as competition wise, they'll be used to this type of weather through their patrolling of their home beaches.
Well, I can just see down in front of our commentary position one of the stars of the Tassie Devils for the coming season, Gordy McLeod, and I guess coming from the warmth of Wollongong, he'd be starting to feel the pressure here. But what a colourful sight it is as we look down over the march past as Burnie and Ulverston and Carlton Beach just going through there. So I guess whatever the weather, and one of the vagaries of summer weather in Tasmania, a day like yesterday, 33 degrees, a day like today, where I guess the chill factor for us sitting on top of the sand dunes is somewhat a little bit higher.
Yes, well, the march past is still going on, as you said, Rod. They'll be feeling the cold now. Some of the younger members have been standing there for some time now, but we have to go through the official opening, and you can see the Burnie juniors there standing at ease, waiting for the senior members to finish. But this is a very hotly contested event. Ulverston, of course, in the senior section have been very, very good marchers over the years, and this year they'll be very hard to beat next weekend. Clifton Beach have been performing over the last couple of years very well. This year had a late start to the season. Burnie have always been very good marchers, and they'll certainly be fighting out the first medal, the first place here today.
Well, I guess it's an important final build-up, if you like, to the state titles that are next weekend. Of course, ABC Television next weekend bring you live action from the State Athletics Championships, so we unfortunately can't see the state titles. but this would be an important final run through for the teams.
Oh my word, the state selectors of course have picked a squad. They picked a squad about the middle of January to compete or to represent the state at Burleigh Heads in Queensland at the end, towards the end of March, the weekend after Easter as a matter of fact. And all competitors here are striving for a place in that team. The boat crews, as we'll see coming up later on in the program, very hotly contested boat races. The swimming sections with Adrian Trivett from Devonport and Ian McGregor, of course. They are currently, as far as I know, still at Melbourne competing at the Australian Swimming Championships. They'll be back next week. Also, the women's places, the women are fighting out a place for a position in the state team in the beach section. At this stage it would be Jenny Jarman from Ulverston, who's been winning most of the beach sprints, and also Judy Davis, who represented the state last year in the Australian title. She'll be looking for a place there. And well, the swimmers, I guess it would have to go to, at this stage, I think a red hot pick for the state team would have to be Charlene Isler from Ulverston, who's been competing very well throughout the carnival. It will be interesting to see how she goes in the board final later on in these conditions. And of course, Anne Henderson, who's a very good swimmer.
Of course, one of the, I guess, the hottest prospects in Tasmania so far as surf life-saving movement is concerned is young Julian Norton-Smith.
Yes, well, Julian is a great competitor, and he's certainly got a big future in front of him. The only problem is, I think, is whether he stays in Tasmania or heads for the warmer climate in New South Wales. He has got some very close contacts at North Cronulla. His father, Michael, an ex-surf lifesaver and still competes actually, has taken him up there quite a few times. And that's the only thing wrong with Julian at the moment. Well, not wrong with him, but whether he makes the decision and leaves us and goes to Sydney. I hope not, because he's got so much to offer surf life-saving in this state.
Just as we're seeing the teams there lined up, they've just marched past. Steve, perhaps you could just fill in our viewers on how the march past is judged.
Yes, well, the judges, of course, the officials are spread right round the arena, and from the time they march on, the judges are looking for different disciplines such as marching technique. Arm swing is very important. Also, the spacing between the back line and also the reel carriers, the reel handlers, and as they come into when they do their turns, what we call wheeling, they are then judged on. They have to get in 9 paces around the wheel. And of course, once they come out of that wheel, they're looking at covering, so that when looking down the beach, you only possibly see 1 or 2 people. But numerous ways of getting dock points, and of course, the team with the least points win the event.
Plenty of action coming up this afternoon, Stephen. We've already mentioned some of the events that we're looking forward to. The Ironman title is always, I guess, since the days of Grant Kenny, it's assumed an added glamour, if you like, to the general public.
Yes, well, the Ironman has been going since 1966, but yes, it really came of age with the appearance of Grant Kenny on the scene. I was one of the fortunate ones to see him at Maroochydore in, I think it was about 1982, when Grant won both the junior and the senior in 1980, and won both the junior and the senior Ironman. And it was an absolutely amazing performance, and of course, who can forget Clifton Beach here in 1983 when he won his 4th one in a row.
Just dispersing, and some of the things that we've got for you this afternoon. In a few moments' time, it's the Open Women's Surfboard. The ladies will be just getting ready for that. And the Taplin final, relay type event, which I think uses the same disciplines as for the Ironman, except that it's different people in each of the legs.
Yes, the Taplin relay is exactly the same as the Ironman as far as the legs go. There will be the ski leg first, the board leg will be paddled second, and the swim leg will be paddled third. Now, of course, the Ironmen do all that in one hit. They don't have any other helpers, but the Taplin relay is a 6-man team. 2 members will paddle ski in a relay situation, 2 will paddle board, and of course there'll be 2 swimmers.
Okay, and then of course the beach sprints and a number of things there. You can see the Taplin course on the screen, and
yes,
the longest of those legs, I guess, would be the surf ski leg.
Yes, the ski leg's the longest, Rod. You can see that the ski leg on the outside, going right round the outside of the other legs. That's around about a 400-metre paddle. Then the board leg, they'll be going out around the swimming buoys, and they'll go along the back of the swimming buoys and then back round. There should be a buoy placed out behind the swimming buoys. In fact, there are 2 buoys there which they'll go around. That's approximately 320 metres. And then there'll be a swim section which is around about 240 metres, and they'll be swimming out to the swim buoys along and then back.
Okay, well, I think the Open women and the lining up for the surfboard title, so let's go down to the beach and catch up with that action. Good. Open women's surfboard final, and the girls are away. Field of 6 or 7, and these rather choppy conditions. How would they suit the girls, Steve?
Well, Rod, they've, earlier on this morning they were having a few problems with the choppy conditions that we've got here, and but I think they've been in enough races now to sort themselves out, and you can see the girls now going out there. It looks like at this stage it would be Charlene Eiler of the Ulverston Club, a very good paddler, Charlene, and she's out past that break and heading out towards the buoys.
She's already got a 15-20 metre gap over the opposition, and is there that much of a gap between her and the rest of the field? Obviously there is.
Well, there has been right throughout the year. These are the first choppy conditions these girls would have been in all year. We've had some good weather on the northwest coast, and the conditions here would really suit Charlene. She went last year to Sydney at the Australian Championships there and represented Tasmania in the interstate female board race, and in surf about 3 to 5 foot and very, very treacherous surf, put in an amazing performance for our female, and finished in 3rd spot, and
well,
she was very happy with that effort.
Well, that's an incredible gap that she's established in, what, 150, 200 metres from the beach already.
Yes, I would imagine the other, you can see the style there of Charlene. She's a very good paddler. I really can't say enough of this girl. She's an excellent competitor. She's a very good swimmer, and you can see the style of her. The head's right down on the board. She's got the rocking motion to push that board through the water. The arms are going right down into up to the armpits to get as much pull in the water that she possibly can, and an excellent style and a great picture there.
She's just coming out to the marker, and she would have a good 30 to 40 metre break over the opposition. And interesting to see that only one other competitor, or a couple of the other competitors, are using that, I guess, more proficient and professional style on the board.
Yes, it just depends. Some competitors feel better by lying down on the board. You can see the, looks like it could be the, can't quite pick the colours up there, but it looks like it could be Chris Brown of the Somerset Club, lying down and coming across the back of the buoys there now. In fact, I'm not quite sure who that is. It could be a Devonport paddler who's an unofficial entrant here, that she has got a hat turned inside out, so maybe that's the that could be the young lass from Devonport. Yes, you can see that the hat is inside out, so I guess it's a
good leg action there, Steve.
Yeah, it's very good kick action, and you can see Chris Brown from Somerset filling 3rd spot. Carlton Park there leading, she'd be in 4th spot. And then we go back on the yellow board to Clifton Beach. Now here's Charlene Eiler coming into the wave area now, and as you said, an enormous, a very big lead here, and she'll be looking over her shoulder here, trying to pick up some of these small waves and get a good run back to the beach.
Some of these events you can see some funny things happen by a competitor being out by 15, 20 metres, and all of a sudden the competitor behind has caught a wave and shoots past them, but that's not going to happen here. Here comes a good little wave. She'll be going for this, and Charlene could just about get into the beach on this particular wave.
Yeah, she's picked that up rather nicely. She stopped paddling there so she wouldn't get in a situation where she could nosedive. She let the wave do all the work, and now she's making sure of this race. She's lying down on the board just to, and she's really pouring the pressure on still. She knows that the state titles are coming up next week, so she's running across the line to take out the Open Women's board final.
Well, she'd be an almost unbackable favourite for next week, one would imagine.
I think so. As I said at the start of the race, she's an extremely good board paddler, and she's going to take a lot of stopping next week at the state titles.
Second competitor just coming over, that mystery competitor.
Yes, I'm sorry for the viewers. I really can't pick who that is. I have been told there was a Devonport lass who has come back from the mainland and hasn't been cleared by a mainland club, so it might be her.
So Charlene there, the victor.
Chris Brown coming across the line there for Somerset in the blue and white cap, just taking out third spot.
But nonetheless, a great victory to Charlene
Isler from Ulverston.
And there she is having a talk, and I guess it'd be a lot warmer in the water than out of it today. So the final, the results: Charlene Isler of Ulverston first, Christine Brown of Somerset second, and Kylie Bumford of Carlton Park is third. And talking to the victor, here's Mark Cutler.
Well, I've got with me the winner of the Open Surfboard, Charlene Isler. And Charlene, you don't look old enough to be in the Open division. How old are you?
19.
19. Well, that's old enough, I guess. How did you find the conditions out there? It looks pretty tough.
Pretty choppy, but it was really good. Yeah.
How long have you been competing in it?
3-4 years now.
And overall in surf lifesaving?
3 or 4 years.
Okay, where to from here? This is one of your biggest victories?
No, I want to win the Australian title.
Okay, well, congratulations again.
Well, Charlene Isler there, talking to Mark Cutler. Big ambitions. Do you think Charlene's got the ability to go on and take out an Australian title?
Yes, I think once again, as it happens quite a lot here in most sports, competitors seem to get to a certain place and then they don't seem to get any better. But Charlene, if you can get the competition here, she'll be certainly pushing, as she did last year at the national titles. She'll be certainly pushing for gold up there at Burleigh Heads at the end of March.
Well, the under-12 Ironman is away, and I guess these would be the youngest competitors in surf lifesaving, would they, Steve?
Yes, these are the under-12s. Possibly next year they'll be looking at 2 more years, and they'll be looking at senior competition. They'll be breaking into the under-15s, which is the first section of the senior movement. And these under-12 swimmers making their way out round the boys. Of course, the underage groups, the Ironman is slightly different. They just have a swim and a board leg. Skis, of course, they don't start paddling skis in competition until they're under 18. They used to paddle under 15 skis, but because of muscle development and different other medical reasons, they've cut that event out, and so it's only a board leg and a swim leg. Sorry, a swim leg and then a board leg.
So the field pretty well strung out already, and we'll get Steve through his binoculars to try and identify at least the club from which the leader comes from at the moment.
Yes, it's the young chap from Ulverston who's got a very good lead over his Burnie opposition. He's coming into the wave area now. You can see the young fellow just swimming, and we're just standing up now and see if he can wade, but he's going to have to keep swimming. Here comes a wave.
The second place getter will shoot through and catch him on the beach.
Yes, a good little bit of surfing by these youngsters, and they certainly know how to catch waves.
So we've at least got a few waves fairly close in, starting to come up. Very choppy conditions earlier on in the day.
Yes, if anything, Rod, I think the swells are possibly picking up slightly. As I said to you earlier on this morning, I can imagine tomorrow there's probably be 4 or 5 foot in perfect weather.
It's always the way, isn't it? So the Ulverston competitor is just about to head out.
Yeah, there he's running down now. He's collected his board. Of course, these boards are also a little bit shorter than the normal boards, and in 2 years' time he'll be paddling a board a lot longer than one he's got today. But the youngster there going out through. There goes the next competitor from Burnie, running in now just on the water's edge. You can see the difference between the two. Other competitors running out after the swim.
We notice through the surf carnivals that it has been that way for quite a number of years. The clubs from the northwest coast are particularly strong. What's the reason for that?
I don't think there's any particular reason. I think the southern clubs can certainly hold their own in the swimming area. Probably over the last 20 years, the south have just about dominated the swimming events. Of course, Steve Crockett from an ex-belt swimmer from Ulverston, was an excellent swimmer and won many state titles. And also Dean Lovell from Burnie won many state titles in the swimming. But generally speaking, the southern clubs have been strong in the pool, in the swim sections, and the northwest coast clubs have been stronger in the craft, which of course is you have board, skis and boats.
Our competitor from Ulverston is still leading out very strongly.
Yes, he's got a good lead now. He's just looking over his shoulder to see if he can see any of the opposition, but his opposition are just rounding the apex buoy, the black and white buoy, and are now heading after him. But he should be able to hold this lead. You can see the distance now as they come back past the swimming buoys between the Ulverston competitor and also the Burnie lad. But just coming up a little wave now, trying to go down the face of it. He's really struggling there to try and keep on it. Can he do it? Yes, he can. So he goes down the face of it, and he'll be happy to hold this wave back to the beach, having a few little problems there with the backwash that's going out. But now he's down the face of it, and he'll ride this all the way home and run up the beach and take the under 12 Ironman out. He's running up now.
Going to be close for second.
Yes, interest is... in fact, they're both on the same wave. There's the youngster from Ulverston just crossing the line now to take our first place. And here's the battle for second.
Did the right thing by staying on the board there a little bit longer.
A few little potholes there. Looks like the youngster from Ulverston's going to come out and take second. So it'll be an Ulverston Cornella. And the Burnie lad will have to be happy at today's carnival with third place.
So a couple of happy Ulverston competitors there. In the under 12 Ironman. Congratulations spread around, and maybe, who knows, one of those three in 4 or 5 or 6 years' time could really develop. We could be looking at a possible national champion as they cross the line there. Who's to know? They've got a long life of surf life-saving in front of them. And of course, once they move out of the junior movement, they'll be doing their surf life-saving certificate, and also then they go on to do their bronze medallion. And of course, they'll be patrolling the beaches, and all these competitors just are all patrolling members of the beach to be able to compete next week at the Tasmanian Surf Life-Saving Championships. They have to have notched up at least 12 hours of patrol work before they're allowed to compete at a state or national level. Southwesterly still coming in, and I can assure you, if you're sitting at home watching this and enjoying the action and the colour, that's the place to be, rather than sitting out on top of these sand dunes.
Yes, it certainly is. It's a pity because the Clifton Beach Club have put so much work into this carnival. And of course, backed by Mitsubishi, the sponsors, it should have, well, it still is a great carnival, but unfortunately the spectators have stayed away because of the weather, and I really don't blame them. But I'm quite sure if you're thinking about coming down for the last hour or so, there is plenty of action, and if you like to bring a rug down, you'd keep reasonably warm.
Yes, bring a spare one down for us if you're coming in the car.
Help.
So you can see a few of the people in the spectator area, and as we mentioned, all are pretty well rugged up, Japaras and wind cheaters. And one of the things, I guess, of recent times that has developed, Steve, surf carnivals are always a particularly colourful sight.
Very colourful. You know, here in Tasmania we see crowds of around about, or they can range from any 5,000 down to 1,000. But of course you go to the national titles, and as we talk we can see the Taplin relay teams going into the water, or the first paddlers. If you go to the national titles, you know, competitor-wise, you're looking at around about 5,000 competitors, and spectators can, well, anything up to 30 to 40,000 people. It's an absolutely unbelievable sight to see a national title. And of course, we've witnessed 3 down here at Clifton Beach, 1969, 1976, and the latest one was 1983.
Right, as they're lining up for the Taplin relay, Steve, your thoughts as to who are going to be the major contenders in this?
Well, of course, this is one of the great events of surf lifesaving because it shows the strength of a club right throughout the the three sections of competition. That is the ski section, and as I say, the starter has got them away. The ski section, the board section, and the swim. This is the first of two ski legs which we'll see, and we can see that the clubs now making their way out, and it looks like it would be Burnie and Clifton Beach who have got the break at this stage. Clifton Beach on the blue ski, Burnie on the white ski, on the pinkish coloured ski. And these two clubs, I think, will fight this event out. Ulverston will be very strong. They'll be up there with them. If anything, I think this section, this draw, ski, board, swim, could possibly suit Burnie more so than Ulverston or Clifton. But we'll see the lead change numerous times in this event, I can guarantee you.
Yes, looks like the Clifton Beach competitor who's going to have the edge to the first boy. Probably got some 10-15 metres to go to that, and he looks as though he's assumed the inside running, and so we'll be able to round that boy first.
Yes, well, this is a good paddle by, I think it's Graham Van Galen from Clifton Beach. Graham, a very strong up-and-coming ski paddler, and he's got on the inside of the Burnie paddler, and if Clifton can hold their spot here, they'll certainly be good favourites, because we know the swimming capabilities of Matthew Watton, who'll be swimming in the swim section, and possibly Matthew Dowd, or even John Whitehouse might be, the veteran John Whitehouse might be swimming, but we'll pick those up later as this event gets into the final stages.
Burnie paddler there has picked up the wave, and he's come up onto level terms, so I guess there's some skill, some luck when you're coming into the beach, who can pick up the wave and hold it, and the Burnie lad has got it.
Yes, well, I think it's the more experienced Burnie paddler there, but here comes the Clifton Beach paddler back now, and they're both up and running, and they'll be running up the beach. They'll run up around the flag and then come back down and tag their next ski paddler, and so it's they've got a very good break on the other clubs, so it looks like could be Nation of Clifton Beach.
I suppose how quickly you get away and control it is quite significant.
It certainly is, and Burnie have got a very good, they've got about a ski length break now. You can see them as they make their way out through the surf. A few waves coming, white water coming in there, and as I talk, the wind whistles in even stronger, and they'll be punching their way out through a pretty stiff sou'wester there. And with the big blades on these paddles, they'd certainly be feeling it.
Well, there's the new technology with the wing paddles now, and I guess with a very stiff southwest, as you say, a slightly different technique that has to be employed.
They'd be trying to keep the blades low, Rod, in these conditions, as low as possible because of the wind resistance. And it's probably gusting out there. You can see the white spray flying off the nose of these skis as they make their way out. It would probably be gusting down there across probably 15, 20 knots, and they'd certainly be trying to push these blades through this wind and, of course, get them into the water as quick as possible.
So Burnie taking over, and this is a fairly significant break, the biggest one that we've seen, even though it's only about a length and a half. And a good turn there. The Clifton Beach paddler is taking a long time to get around. I don't know whether there's any local knowledge in that, but he's lost 15 or 20 metres. Yes, steering troubles.
I think he might have, by the looks of it, we don't know from here, of course, but I think he would have had to broken a rudder there, and that's extremely unfortunate for the Clifton Beach paddler. I don't know what went wrong there, but there's no way known he should have taken a turn like that. You can see the difference between the turn the Burnie paddler had took. So I guess he has got some gear problems.
Yeah, from the length, he's gone down to about 30 metres.
Yes, and this left Burnie way out in front now, and they'll be happy with this lead because they would have been really battling to hold Clifton back if Clifton had been able to stick with them in this ski leg.
Also, Burnie enjoying an enormous advantage now, and taking Clifton Beach right back to the pack in a battle for second and third. There's the paddler, and he's really had a hard go of it out there, and you'll find that there are a couple of other of the clubs right on his hammer, but as they go into the board leg, Burnie have a big advantage, and you reckon that sort of break, even given the swimming expertise of someone like Matthew Watton, is going to be just about enough to set up victory for them.
Well, no, I won't say that yet, Rod. There's a long way to go in this event. In fact, Clifton Beach now just board paddlers running into the water. And Bernie would have a lead of about 40 metres, and that's not unstoppable. I mean, funnier things have happened, and we've got another board lead to go, and then, of course, 2 swim leagues. So this race is far from won yet. You can see the Bernie lad going out there through the surf now, and you can see the distance between him and the Clifton Beach paddler. In third spot there we have the Somerset paddler, so Somerset holding down third spot here, and coming into a picture very shortly we'd have the paddler from Carlton Park.
Notice the swell is picking up a little bit more than it was earlier in the day.
Yes, it's picking up rather well now, and this is going to create some excitement, I feel, in the surf boat final, which is coming up in around about 10 minutes, and that should be one crack final, because we've seen a number of races here today already by these boat crews. But back to the Taplin relay, and we can see the Bernie boy there really putting the big ones in and trying to get his ski running back. He's going up round that last can now, the orange can. You can see him, and now he's heading back towards the swimming buoys and then back towards the beach.
So he's still got a good 30-metre lead over second place Clifton Beach.
Yes, I don't think Bernie have pulled away any on Clifton here. Clifton have held Bernie, but still a long way to go. And Somerset, of course, in third spot. Carlton Park are going very well in this event. I mean, they're in fourth spot, and they've got some very good swimmers in Curtis Pizzolato, and also young Adrian Petrie, no doubt, would be swimming for his club in the last 2 legs. But
we keep saying, I guess, if you can get one of the second or third place getters to pick up a wave or a swell a little bit before the leader, then the complexion of the race can change quite dramatically.
Oh, my word, that's right. You can see the Bernie boy just coming in now. He had to catch that wave because Clifton Beach had narrowed the gap slightly, and if he had missed that wave, he could have found that Clifton Beach might have drawn level on the next wave back in. But you can see the Bernie boy coming out now. He's running out, looking to hand over to his next board paddler. There goes the tag, and hand held way back behind the line, so there's no chance of breaking. Judges are looking for that type of thing because they are not allowed to tag in front of the 2 flags, and that's why he had his hand way back to make sure that he was nowhere near that line.
Tell you what, that wind is still strong and it's still very cold. I reckon being in the water would probably be the warmest place today.
Yes, well, in the water, or I guess watching this telecast, probably some of the boys at the Ulverston Surf Club would be snuggled up there in front of their log fire, although it's probably warm up there, I wouldn't like to say.
Yeah, you have enough trouble, don't you, with the north-south weather vets?
Oh, we don't have any problem really. It's just normally we have cold weather down here in summer. But anyway.
Well, Bernie's still well and truly in control of this event, and if anything, I think they're at least holding, if not increasing that margin slightly.
Yes, I think they've increased that lead now, and unless Clifton can make up some ground on this leg, I think it's going to be pretty difficult for Clifton to peg Bernie back, because I mean, Bernie are no slouches in the swimming section either, and they'll certainly take some pegging back here.
Well, if we'll just take as a gauge, I think in fact the lead has been stretched quite considerably, because in the previous leg at this point the Clifton lad was just coming up to that first of the boys, and in fact I think you'll find that the lead has been stretched out by some 10 to 15 metres on this particular leg. So a very strong board leg by Bernie, and if he can catch this wave and stay with it, couldn't quite do it, so he'll be looking for the next one, but a very significant gap of probably 50 metres has been built up now, and he's just taking it easy. He's caught this one, he'll scoot into the beach, and I'll tell you what, I don't think I'd be backing Clifton to pick up this lead, even given 2 swim legs to come.
No, they'll find it very hard. You see the Bernie boy taking a little bit lax there, and he's fallen off the back of the wave. If he had been really concentrating, he could have held the wave, but now he's gone down it. That's a pretty. He'd be happy with that. They're well and truly in front. Yes, it looks, but that's Dean Parry running out of the water for the Bernie Club, an ex-Ironman competitor, and no doubt we'll see more of him later on in the program. in the ski final. So there goes the swimmer for Bernie, and Clifton, you would see possibly see the Clifton Beach paddler come across the screen there. There he goes, so you can see the gap, quite a lengthy gap now, and Clifton are really going to have to fight to try and peg this lead back.
Well, I think as they say in the classic, Steve, 2 chances, Buckley's and none.
Well, funnier things have happened, Rod. I'm not going to pick the winner yet. We've got 2 swim legs to go, and there's an awful lot that can happen in that time. I think it could be young Dowd of Clifton Beach there. You can see the hand. There goes the tag. Of course, good swimmer in Dowd is from the pool. His first season in surf lifesaving, and he's certainly enjoying it. But he's got a lot of work to do before he can come out in front of the Bernie competitor. Quite a good good battle going on here to 3rd place. We've got an Ulverston Somerset, sorry. Yes, it's be Charlene Isler, I think, swimming for Ulverston, and possibly Chris Brown swimming for Somerset. So they're battling out the 3rd spot at this stage.
Is that a fairly common thing for the ladies to be mixed in with the men?
Not normally, but maybe some of the other swimmers have decided that they've done enough for the day. And I guess I'm pretty sure that Ulverston wouldn't have swum Charlene Isler if they had another couple of their swimmers down here or competing.
Well, goes the second of the ladies, or
that's
maybe the
second,
3rd.
Yes, it looks like the ladies are certainly come into the Tapler relay now, which is good to see, because some of these women can certainly perform very well in the surf. They're very good swimmers, and it's great to see them get their opportunity competing in this event.
Well, you can see the gap between 1st and 2nd, and it's still a pretty significant gap, Steve. Bernie,
yes.
Clifton Beach swimmer now. Dowd just rounding the 1st of the boys, so he's good 40-50 metres behind, and I don't think even Matthew Watton could make up that gap.
No, they're certainly holding their lead, Bernie. It's great to see the Bernie club. Clifton defeated them 2 weeks ago up at Penguin, and they've got a very good lead here today, and Bernie, a very, very strong club. They've looked after their juniors very well. They've got a very, very strong craft section, or craft competitors, very good in the boat events, and it's good to see them. They went through a couple last year and the year before, just a bad trot, but now they've fought their way back with a good deal of courage, and certainly good to see them performing here today.
Well, here he is out of the water, our Bernie competitor, and going into the last leg. Bernie are looking the goods at the moment. Big lead from Clifton Beach. We picked out who's 3rd at this stage, Steve?
Yes, it looks like it's still the Ulverston. It looks like Ulverston might have swum themselves into 3rd place.
Technique there of getting out into the water, getting under those waves.
Yes, well, the idea, of course, is to get down underneath the turbulent water, which is the white water, and really grip hold of that bottom and push yourself off, and otherwise you end up washed back on the beach.
The tag will be to Matthew Watton, I would imagine.
Yes, it's Watton running into the water now, and he's really going to have to work hard. In fact, I can't see him pegging back this lead that Bernie have established. But
that's a good 50 metres, 60
yes,
metres, isn't it?
I would even, that's just too much of a lead that Bernie have established. And as I said, they've won their crown back after losing it last 2 weeks ago at Penguin. And all goes well for a great clash next weekend at Carlton at the Tasmania Championships between not only Clifton and Bernie, but Ulverston and also Carlton Park. There goes a Devonport, who are currently running in 3rd place. We just saw them tag. There's Chris Brown of Somerset just tagging now to send their last swimmer away, so they'll be in 4th spot.
Meanwhile, along the boys come Bernie, and although Matthew Watton has done a pretty good job, he may have taken 10 metres off that lead. I think time is going to be the difference. We'll probably get in shot in a few moments' time. Matthew Watton coming into the left of your screen, but Bernie, here he comes now, Matthew Watton. So he's done a good job to probably cut 10 or 15 metres off the lead. He's coming up to that first lot of boys now. It's a superb swim by Matthew Watton as he's along the back. And I tell you what, given another 15 metres closer, Watton could have really eaten into this lead.
Well, he certainly has. He's closed the gap, and we saw what Matthew Watton could do in that Ironman. So, you know, anything can happen here, although the Bernie boy's coming into the break now, and here comes a little wave up behind him, but he's a little bit too far out. He won't catch it.
Yeah, I think as you were mentioning, Steve, last year when we did this telecast, the swim leg in that Ironman was the one that won it for Watton.
Yes, that's right. So he's if anything, he's strengthened his swimming. He's an incredible swimmer. He can just make up so much ground, and he's really got the feet kicking in. You can see the white spray coming up, and he's looking up to see how far Bernie are in front. But he's still going to be very hard pushed to catch Bernie. They're still holding down at 20 metre, but it's narrowing every stroke. But I think he's left it a little bit too late, and it's unfortunate going back to that ski leg where they must have had some gear trouble on their ski. Otherwise, Clifton could
he's come up a little bit too early, the Bernie boy.
Yes,
and
he
this
has
could
stood up
give
a bit early.
Matthew Watton a little bit of a chance.
Watton has kept swimming.
He just can't get the wave, can he?
But there's
Here comes
no
one.
assistance.
Here comes one. If he can catch that, he's going to scoot him up to him. Not quite close enough, but a superb effort by Matthew Watton. As we mentioned last year, it was perhaps a little surprise when he took out the Ironman title. And it'll be interesting to see later this afternoon whether he's been able to improve the craft skills enough to take out the title again this year.
Yes, that's right, It will be interesting. I mean, he's put up a great performance here. And it's going to be pretty exciting to see what he can do in the Ironman event. This probably will take a little bit out of him, but he's a very fit young fellow. So Bernie crossing the line there and sucking the oxygen into the lungs. That would have been a tough swim for the
especially when he kept looking over his shoulder to see Matthew Watton getting ever closer. But a superb job there by the Bernie club to take out the Taplin relay from Clifton Beach, and coming into third place now.
Devonport coming in to take out third spot.
We've just had a little note from Somerset, yes. What's the weather on the northwest coast there,
just had
Steve?
from Roddy Marshall from Somerset, just had a phone call, and thanks very much, Rod. I know you'll be listening. And he's just passed on here. The weather on the northwest coast, 23 degrees and sunny, so all I can say is thank you very much.
And a big hi to everyone up on the northwest coast and everywhere else in Tasmania that are tuned into this telecast. So the Taplin relay taken out by Bernie from Clifton Beach, and Devonport in the third place. We'll confirm those places. But I think in the meantime we may have an interview with one of the, well, older names in the surf life saving. There they are. Bernie, first from Clifton Beach and Devonport, Jeremy Norton. Mark Cutler's talking to him.
Well, we've got Jeremy Norton with us, the #1 surf skier of the Bernie team. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Do you think you set it up with your leg? You came back with a pretty healthy lead there.
Well, it was a bit tougher than I expected, and came in level with the Clifton paddler, Graham Van Galen, who's been paddling particularly well lately. What really set up for us was Carl Russell, our junior paddler, who paddled second. Really opened up a big break. And as our swimmers aren't as strong today, because we've got a couple of swimmers up in the Devonport triathlon, we needed to have a lead so that we could hang on. And
well, you did that, but it was a tremendous finish there in the end. Matthew Watton really mowed him down in the end.
Oh, he's a great swimmer. We were just lucky we had enough break on him to manage to hold him off.
Now, without using bad language, what's your feeling about this onshore southwesterly? It must be 20 knots. It makes it pretty tough on you guys.
I'd like to be back home up the northwest coast where the weather's better. We came down, it was beautiful yesterday, but seems to be that it packs up when we come down this way each year. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. Well, anyway, congratulations to the Bernie team as well.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks a lot.
Mark Cutler talking to Jeremy Norton, and who said Tasmanians are parochial? We've got the open beach sprint coming up next, and always a feature. Who are we likely to be the contenders here, Steve?
Well, good field here in this final. It's a 9-man final, and we've got there in the picture, that's Ross Bongiletti from Devonport in the green and white cap. In fact, we'll go across from in lane 1. We have Jamie Saltmarsh in the yellow singlet there from Burnie. Ross Bongiletti there in the, looks like the green singlet from Devonport. Next to him, his clubmate Darren Perry from Devonport. Then we have in the, looks like the red singlet, Jeremy Gibson of Burnie. In the blue singlet, John Bell of Clifton Beach. Colin Heffer of Carlton Park. In the green singlet there, we'd have Michael Dennis of Burnie. In the blue singlet, we have Gerard Leary of Penguin. And on the top of the track, without a singlet on in the light blue bathers, Douglas McKinlay of Clifton Beach.
Who would you expect to perform well? Well, they're just about lined up, so one-man pick. Who's it going to be?
Oh, soft sand, I'd say Ross Bongiletti in lane 2 from Devonport.
Okay, the predictions of Steve Gray. And a great head-on shot. As you can see, the competitors coming up take their mark for the beat sprint. Saltmarsh, Bongiletti, Ferry, Gibson, Bell, Heffer, Dennis, Leary and McKinlay. Left to right across your screen.
Yes, it's going to be a great battle, this 100-metre sprint, or 90-metre sprint. Starter's got them down. Bongiletti been a very good competitor, came over here last year from the mainland, and the starter's got away, although he hasn't. As the teeth chatter, it's a false start. But going back to some of the performances of these runners, Jamie Saltmarsh is the current state champion. Jamie, of course, still a junior. He'll be battling next week to hold down his spot, but Devonport have been very good in competition this year as far as beach events go, and it wouldn't surprise if they fill possibly the first 2 places with Darren Perry and Ross Bongiletti. Jeremy Gibson from Burnie, another very good young beach sprinter, and Johnny Bell of Clifton Beach in here with a chance as well. Colin Heffer of Carlton Park, unknown quality, but I've heard that he's quite a good beach sprinter as well, so this could be a very good final.
We'll just get this, I think, because the open surf boats are away, or about to get away. There's a good start, and Devonport runner in 2 is Bongiletti, but in 1 it's Saltmarsh of Burnie. Saltmarsh of Burnie's got it from Bongiletti, and in 3rd was Perry of Devonport. So Jamie Saltmarsh of Burnie from Ross Bongiletti of Devonport, and Darren Perry of Devonport in 3rd place. A great win by Saltmarsh of Burnie, as the open surf boats are lining up and just about to get away too, so that should be pretty spectacular action along the other end of the beach. But Saltmarsh led from go to woe.
Yes, a very good start, and he needed that win because Darren Perry won at Penguin 2 weeks ago, and Jamie has fought back well because today, who knows, there is a position in the state team for a beach sprinter, and that could have been the one that might have clinched it for him.
So good seedings. There we have Jamie Saltmarsh from Ross Bongiletti of Devonport and Darren Perry of Devonport as the winners and place getters in the open beach sprint final. Now we have the surf boats on screen, and what a sight they'll be. Pity the swell isn't a little bit bigger, but still enough out there to make it interesting. Which start do you think is the favourite in this particular event?
Well, Ulverston have been rowing extremely well throughout the day in the first 3 races today. In fact, the starter has gotten away, and you can see the crews now. They're all in and rowing out through this short, choppy surf. Wade coming in now, and they'll plough through that one. You can see the white water spraying, and no doubt those pumps in the boats will be working overtime to pump the water out. It looks like Burnie in lane 2 down the bottom end of the beach. There goes Carlton Park, having a lot of problems there. In fact, I think they've lost their sweep, but back to the leaders. And on the screen now, and you can see Burnie on the right-hand side of the screen, have got a very good start. And Burnie rowing very well at this stage. But Ulverston, of course, as I said before at the start, have been rowing very well here today. They've got a bad start, but a very fit crew. They were down here at Clifton last week training in the surf. And this race is going to develop into one hell of a boat race, because you can see the 3 leading contenders there. On the bottom of your screen, Penguin, in the middle, Ulverston, and on the right-hand side, Burnie, and nothing separating them, right?
I think Penguin's just about rode through, and that's fascinating. But I think we've got the winner at the moment of the open beach sprint, Jamie Saltmarsh, talking to Mark Cutler.
Well, got the winner of the Open Beach Sprint, Jamie. Congratulations, that was a great performance.
Thanks a lot.
Your event, this is your #1 event on a surf lifesaving carnival?
Yeah, I go on other events, under 18 ski and that, but this is my main event, the sprint, beach sprint.
I was going to say, talking to you, hardly out of breath, but that's not true quite, is it?
No, not really. No, I feel pretty good actually.
The Burnie Club's very successful today, obviously a very competitive outfit.
Yeah, we went pretty well on the Tapman relay with the ski paddlers. Got good ski paddlers and board paddlers. That wasn't too bad.
Oh, good luck with the state championships next week.
Okay then, thanks a lot.
Right, back to the surf boat final, and very hard to judge at the moment. I fancy Penguin have got away to a slight advantage over, I think, Ulverston in second and Burnie in third, but not a great deal between these crews, and apparently, Steve, they've been at it neck and crop for most of the season.
Yes, they have, Rod. And surfboat racing in Tasmania is national standard. There's no doubt about that. We've seen Burnie over the last few years make the final. In fact, they finished second 2 or 3 years ago. Penguin are the current silver medalists as far as in the world titles at Southport last year in huge surf. In fact, Penguin have just come back from Maroochydore over the long weekend, competed up there in the big Sun Carnival, the $70,000 carnival, and made the final and finished third in that race.
And here they go around the buoy.
Yes, now they've got a lead now, I reckon, of about a boat length. So this is a great row here by the Penguin boys in these conditions. No doubt that I think they might have been waiting for these sort of conditions. They've been used to them, the high breezes over on the mainland. And of course, Burnie are in there with a big show. They're rowing.
They made a good turn. They made an excellent turn at the buoy, and I reckon you look there and there's not going to be much between them. It just depends on, I guess, who's going to catch the leading wave into the beach.
Yeah, well, the camera angle there on the screen is pretty deceiving, but you can see the crews now. In fact, Burnie are way over there just come into the picture now, and you can see Penguin have got their boat running beautifully down their wave. They've got a lovely wave there, and they've pulled away from Burnie now, but there's this race is far from over.
Now Burnie are catching a bit of a swell. There you go, they go. And there's not much between it. I just fancy Burnie at this stage may have got the upper hand over Penguin.
What a great boat race. I promised you that this race would be one hell of a race, and the favourites Ulverston have really been left floundering here by these two two crews.
Look at that wave Penguin have caught. It's, now they're going to fall into a bit of a trough, and Burnie being further down the beach, you're going to pick another one up. But Penguin, at the moment, I fancy, have got back the ascendancy there. They're getting another little bit of a swell and coming in. And Penguin, I think, are going to take this one out as Burnie fall into a little bit of a trough. And Penguin just sticking with that. That's great boatsmanship. Look at Penguin go. They've caught this wave, and they're going to come in as very convincing and worthy winners of this open boat race.
Well, Rod, you're certainly a great row. They power themselves onto that wave. Terry Owens, the sweep, will be very happy if they can take this one out, and there's nothing going to stop them. They're coming up towards the line now, just hit a bit of dead water. But a great row by Penguin, and may this could be a sign of things to come. For next week, Terry Owens gives them a salute, the victory salute, and he'd be very, very happy because they've been battling to regain form, and they've certainly struck back with a vengeance in very choppy conditions at Clifton today.
Burnie coming through there onto the beach for second, and Ulverston, a disappointing row from them.
Yes, it is a disappointing row, and they'll be disappointed with that effort because they have been rowing reasonably well right throughout the day, and they'll be disappointed, and probably they're going to have to re-look at the situation because, as I said before, all these crews up until today have been rowing in reasonably flat conditions, fine sunny conditions and flat conditions. As I said, Penguin have been up to Maroochydore and Sydney, and last weekend Burnie went to Victoria and rowed, so they've been copying some heavy stuff.
So they're the results. The Penguin crew, a convincing first from Burnie and Ulverston. But I think if there's one thing that's certain in this life, Steve, that next Saturday at the state titles, it is going to be one heck of a boat race.
It should be great. Boat racing, as I said, is truly national standard in Tasmania. Any of these crews can win a gold medal at Burleigh Heads in March. And all crews are going up, and boy oh boy, next weekend it's really going to come down to the